This is a story of how I changed my life in just 6 weeks. And how you can too. Less than 3 months ago, I was minding my own life, scrolling on Instagram while contemplating what it means to follow your dreams, when I stumbled across this video.
Call all stand filmmakers. You said you were gonna make that short film this summer, yeah? Bet.
They pitch themselves as a school for your own ideas to help people make their dreams a reality. It could have been a scam, but this account kept popping up. They seemed super creative, so honestly, it just looked kind of cool. I'd been burnt out for a while at my tech job, I was looking for something new and different, and their 5th season of their Nights and Weekends program was about to start. 6 weeks with a couple thousand strangers online. I joined. Week 1, the idea. Build Space's tagline is a school for your own ideas. Their mission is to help people make their dreams a reality. Ideas are cheap, though. People can have hundreds or even thousands of ideas every single day, but how many of them actually exist in reality? If you never commit to an idea, you never end up working on it. So just pick one. Strangers from all over the world worked on music albums, robot arms, a poetry book, video games, short films, you name it. Your idea doesn't have to change the world for it to be worth doing. Of the 60,000 people who applied online, 17,000 people made it to the first live stream. Stick around to see how many people actually made it to the end of the 6 weeks. Week 2, make a toy. Once you decide on an idea, you have to make it real. This is where most people get stuck. They look at the Airbnbs or the Casey Neistats or the Taylor Swifts of the world and think, I could never do that. Well, this is Airbnb's first website. Casey Neistat's first YouTube video was posted 14 years ago. Taylor Swift started making music as a teenager.
I didn't get my perfect fantasy.
You can't compare yourself to someone with a decade's worth of experience. Just focus on what you can accomplish in a week, a day, even a few hours. Make a landing page, turn your camera on, or record a voice note. If you never even try, you're guaranteed to fail. If you do try, you have a chance at massive success. Weeks 3 through 5. For the next few weeks, thousands of internet strangers collectively learned how to grow, test, and even market their own ideas. For free. All you had to do was show up and put in the work. This is a graph after week 3. Apparently, for every iteration of this 6 weeks Nights and Weekends program, everybody always hit a low point around week 3 or 4. The thing about following your dreams is sometimes reality hits. You share what you're doing to an empty audience, and after the initial excitement from a handful of friends, there's a lot of shouting into the void. Doubts come in, things get kind of hard, and you start to wonder what the point of any of it was at all. This is normal. It means you care. It doesn't mean that your dreams aren't worth it, though. It just means that you have to keep believing in them. On your deathbed, would you rather tell the story of how you gave up after a few weeks because it was too hard? Or how you really tried, maybe even failed, but learned so much more along the way? Week 6, the perfect demo. In those 6 or so weeks, I made my first 5 YouTube videos. Whether or not 5 videos sounds like a lot to you, in that time I learned how to use DaVinci Resolve for the very first time and essentially became a one-woman production from scripting, editing, drawing, color grading, sound design, making thumbnails, and arguably the hardest part, managing my own brain and doubts in the process. Most importantly, I made my decade-plus long dream of starting a YouTube channel a reality. We started with 17,000 people on the first live stream. Only 1,000 to 2,000 made it to the end, but each person worked on something seemingly crazy for 6 weeks straight and actually had something to show for it. These ideas were now real. So what do I mean when I say this experience changed my life? Sure, I got a couple hundred YouTube subscribers, met some cool people, but most of all, I learned, experienced, and proved to myself what's possible. Anything is possible if you just stick with it. It just seems impossible because most people don't. All it takes to change your life and make an idea real is 6 weeks of dedicated, consistent effort. 90% of people doing this did this on nights and weekends outside of a full-time job. Pick that idea you've been sitting on for years on end and just try it. That said, I actually took notes for 6 weeks on the entire thing. It was such an inspiring experience. I want to send even a fraction of what I learned to you, so I'm linking it down in the description below. I know 90% of you won't actually follow through on it, But if anything, just skim through it to understand what you could be capable of. A lot of people found it helpful already, so there's really no downside. Your life changes when your perspective changes, when your beliefs about yourself and the world are fundamentally altered. Find your people, the people crazy enough to do something different than the 90%, and if you really feel like you can't, at least steal notes from an internet stranger. This is the emotional part. On August 23rd, the BuildSpace founder Farza announced in a very detailed note that he is shutting BuildSpace down. It wasn't one of your startup failure stories. Actually, the company was doing well. However, it was a very personal decision. He felt like the work was no longer aligning with his purpose, and he felt like he couldn't give the company 100% anymore. Well, 6 weeks changed my life and thousands of others. So thanks Farza and the whole team for making this whole BuildSpace thing possible. And for you, 6 weeks is just the beginning. If you truly want to change your life, you have to keep putting yourself out there. Sprint directly into the things that scare you. Punch perfectionism in the face and just get started. Find out what's possible, but most importantly, show yourself what's possible. It'll be hard, it'll be a journey, but so worth it. As always, thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one. I don't even know how it's gonna turn out. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and we go.
Okay, and we're off.